Whether you keep them in your home or love to see them in theirs, these are the creatures that bring us all together.
Reptiles. We're going to be delving into the experiences of reptile lovers from around the block and around the world. This is the Reptile Talk Podcast.
Boom! What is going on, everybody? This is Jeremy Turgeon from Brassman Reptiles.
And I'm Rob, and I'm keeping it real.
So tonight is our double header.
Double header.
If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to get 2 back-to-back episodes. If you're listening to the audio only, then you'll catch this episode first, and then next week you'll catch the other episode. Yeah, dude, 103.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. So I think that as far as NPR goes, this would be like season 2.
Oh man, 100 episodes a season. Sheesh.
I don't know. I'm just we've been doing it for 12 years, so
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, so I'm not necessarily excited about the primary topic tonight, but of course excited to be here with you, Rob, and here with everybody else that's in the chat slowly coming in. You guys already know the deal. Feel free to share this video out, whether you're here on YouTube or Facebook. And as always, if you're on YouTube and you want to throw in a super chat, like we pay attention to those sometimes. So all right, so we're talking about something that that is reared its head in the hobby recently. We're on the back end of the, I guess, the hype, which I think is a better place to be, because it got super chaotic after everything went down.
got kind of hectic.
Yeah, just a little bit. So if you missed, I don't even think we need to discuss the exact topic unless you want to, Rob. I mean, the exact situation, unless you want to, because I think everybody's heard it by now.
Yeah, for continuity purposes, as far as people in the future who might not be listening, in the year 2023, currently where we're at. Some things were said on another podcast. Somebody who is very well known and considered one of the OGs in the reptile community used some words that were not so polite about people of color, and we'll leave it at that. And it didn't get corrected when it happened. So
Yeah,
we figure this is an important topic to cover. Just because as the hobby grows, we really don't need this bullshit. Honestly, just as society grows, as everything has progressed, it is the year of our Lord 2023. And people are still racist as hell. Like, what the absolute shit, man.
Yeah, it definitely boggles my freaking mind, man. And in tandem with that, then there was also a different situation that involved 2 I guess higher profile social media figures in the industry with regards to a snake sale that went bad, and comment sections erupting with homophobic comments and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. And it's like, man, what is happening? Like,
what is going on for real?
A solid 2-week span of just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
Yeah, just 2 weeks of just like, I thought we were better than this. I thought for real, I thought we were better than this.
Yeah, exactly. It was really frustrating. I mean, on this first topic, it was really frustrating, especially having met that person and been around that person and not experienced that, and then witnessing it, like seeing the clip and just kind of being like, what?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, not wonderful. So yeah, I definitely agreed with Rob to do this episode and, just kind of open up a discussion either here in the chat or wherever. Again, if you guys want to throw super chats or whatever and get involved, certainly more than willing to do that. But I think it's important that we note, I mean, it is 2023. We should be so beyond this, and it's unfortunately we're not.
Yeah.
And I think it's important that we recognize, just as you were saying, Rob, the hobby is growing, the industry is growing. And if we do go back to the inception of everything, it was a different time. both in our nation's history, but but also as the hobby was really getting started. Like it was a pretty different time compared to what it is now, and it's a shame that it almost makes it feel like our hobby is still slightly antiquated, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And as reptile keeping has gone from being very fringe to now, I think the best estimates are it was over 3 million people keeping reptiles in the United States or something like that. Like
Yeah.
1 in every 10 home has a pet reptile in it. As we've gone from something that's very fringe and kind of out there and not understandable to the general public, as people are getting exposed more and more to content online and going to educational programs and hiking. Like think about 2020 where people were, cooped up in their houses, and the only way that people kind of got out because you couldn't go anywhere where there's other people was just to get out in nature and to hike and stuff.
Yeah.
As all of these things have changed, um, we we have seen reptiles go from something super fringe to being much more widely accepted. Most people I know, when they find out that I keep reptiles, if they're meeting me for the first time, they don't go, "Oh, wow." They go, "Oh, I know somebody who's got a bearded dragon," or,
Yeah.
"I know
Yeah.
somebody
Yeah.
with a
Yeah.
leopard gecko. I know somebody who's got a snake," or, "My dad had a snake back in the day," or whatever.
Yep.
And it's gone from this thing that was very fringe and kind of in group, out group to now it is way more like I went to the mall the other day and I
Mhm.
went in Hot Topic and they had axolotl shirts. Like literally not just one, like 3 or 4 different designs with axolotls on them.
Oh,
And I
wow.
was like, if you had told me that 20 years ago or 10 years ago, there's no way I would have believed you. I'd have been like,
Right.
that's axolotls are way too fringe to be at a Hot Topic, and there they are. And like
Yeah.
culturally, frogs have become really popular. And so this is not to steer away from the topic at hand. It's just to say that back in the day, a lot of the like reptile keeping community was predominantly white dudes, and it
Mhm.
has changed a lot from then, at least as far as like, image and representation. There are so many more different walks of life that people have come to reptiles from. And I think that we're doing ourselves a disservice and we're doing the community and the animals a disservice by letting racist shit slide. It doesn't jive, man. There's no place for
Yeah.
it in this community. And I want to say this just like off the rip, like I'm half black, my dad is black, my mom is white, and as someone who's got a lighter complexion and is generally just seen as another white person, the things that white people say when they think there's no people of color around, it's some shit, man. It is
Yeah.
some shit. And I speak up when I'm able to do so, but there have also been situations where I was not in a, safe place enough to speak up, and it fucking sucks because you got to sit here and just be like, "Wow, this is some shit they're talking about me, they're talking about my family." And
Yeah.
you know, for the people who are able to speak up, um it does make an impact and it does change people's minds. Uh, and I think that just exposure, honestly, a lot of these people, who have got these racist ideations or ideals, they just haven't been around people of different color, or they kind of in group out group themselves, and they make it so that their lives are not included with those people. And
Right.
the more that we limit ourselves with the type of people that we interact with, the more of an echo chamber that you fall into and the less ideas get spread. Because I've learned so many things from people who keep lizards that never would apply to me, because if I had just kept snakes. And same thing
Mhm.
with tarantulas. And like it's the same thing with people of different races and different cultures. If you are not talking to people of different cultures, if you're not meeting people from different backgrounds than your own, then you're missing out on all these great opportunities for your life to grow in ways that you never could have imagined that they would.
Yeah, agreed 100%. Absolutely.
And it's just, I don't know. It's frustrating to me to see, like, let me take a step back. There were a lot of people that spoke up about the situation um initially, and I feel like there was some pushback from a couple people, but I don't really think it was a lot of people. Uh but this is just one instance of one particular person. This is not even close to the amount of things that happen at a reptile expo, or
Mhm.
in forums or group messages, or anything like that. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true, man. I mean, yeah, it it really is just freaking crazy. Like I don't understand how, as the industry has become what it has become now,
Mhm.
where there's any way for anybody, regardless of how long they've been in the hobby, to still be in uh that old school mindset.
Yeah.
It's like, what, how do you do business?
Mhm.
Like, I mean, you're so far antiquated mentally that, so what do you literally just not do business with these people because, like, their money's
For real.
different? Is their money no good? Like, what are you doing? That makes literally zero
Yeah.
sense to me. So the fact, and there's also, I think one of the other elements of the situation that was frustrating was, first of all, it didn't immediately get shut down by the
Mhm.
host. So then of course it gets clipped and shared around, very quickly, because the internet
Mhm.
moves very quickly. Um, and then there was the attempted justification,
Yeah.
uh,
Oof.
and there's no, you can't justify it.
Yeah.
You just can't justify it. There's no way. It's not synonymous with any other word. Like, in the context it was attempted to be justified along with, it's not real. That's just not real.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know so I know for me that was probably the second most frustrating thing. Obviously, first of all, that it was said at all, but then it was attempted to be justified. And I'm just shocked at how it was handled. I'm happy with how it seemed the vast majority of people responded,
Mhm.
and it was really quick to get, like, totally bashed. Again, it sucks because, again, like, having known that person and not experiencing it, seeing it and hearing it was literally like a slap in the face of just like, bro, like, really?
Yeah. For real.
Really? um but yeah, the attempted justification of it was the thing that really didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. You can't justify that. It should have been immediately shut down. Even if you're not going to, you know directly get at that person and be like, dude, what the hell did you just say?
Mhm.
Like, what are you doing? It should have been like, we're done, click,
Yeah.
like that's it. you know
Yeah.
um and I will say that I was on a group phone call with that particular host and a couple of other people who were trying to make it all make sense, because that particular person is also not super tech savvy, we'll
Mhm.
say, and kind of living in their own existence, and attempted to defend this person because they felt that was the right thing to do. And it's like, no,
No.
it's
Nah,
it's
man.
just it's just not, like, none of that makes any kind of sense. It just doesn't. Where we as people have made a far enough advancement to realize that this is not okay.
Yeah.
and you just don't have the right to be like, well, you'd see, like, no, I'm sorry, it just doesn't work, man. It
Yeah.
just doesn't work.
Yeah, it's we've gone from a place where people who are in power are just allowed to say whatever they want, and F anyone who gets hurt in the way of the things that they say. And then nowadays we're like, hey, look, man, just you're saying things that hurt other people. Can you not do that? And then people are jumping down your throat saying, well, no, what? We can't have an opinion now. We can't, there's no free speech anymore. It's like, dude, the government's not busting down your door to arrest you because of something that you said. We are asking you, as fellow human beings who are affected by the things that you say and the ways that you are living your life, can you please cut that shit out? And
Yeah.
it just like goes over people's heads because they get so hung up on this idea that they can't have an opinion. It's like, if your opinion is that someone is less than you because of their skin color, get a new opinion, man. Like, for real, like, we are all human beings. We are all people who deserve respect. And by people using language like what we saw that couple weeks ago, you are saying that these people don't deserve respect, and that
Right.
they don't deserve to have any sort of dignity compared to you just because of their skin color. And it's like, bro, no, get the hell out of here with that. That's not how we play.
Yeah.
Whether it's your skin color, your sexual orientation, and just no. No. It's
Yeah.
crazy because those people say that they love freedom, but yet they're always the ones who want to do something to take away the freedom of other people who are just living their lives, who just want to be free and happy like they are. Like,
Yep.
come on.
Yep. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. Shout out to Jay Muller, who is in the house. What's up, Jessica? How are you doing? Says
Muller.
love you guys. Definitely appreciate the support, Jess.
Yes. And that picture
Um,
with the bowl, she's holding the bowl. It's
right,
cool.
right. Take a look at that. Look at it. Just look at it. Oh man. Yeah, no, man. It really just doesn't make any sense, and it's incredibly frustrating. And I know that there were certain people that had reached out to that podcast host to directly express their dismay with the situation. And just as I said, there's just this underlying attempt to justify, and it's again, context doesn't matter. How it was meant doesn't matter. That word carries plenty of negativity.
Mm-hmm.
It
Even
just
today.
even today, it just doesn't need to be said in any way.
Yeah.
And to jump on the other topic with all the homophobic comments that have popped up too. I mean, like, for those who don't know about me, I'm bisexual. I have dated multiple men. And that's like, looking at that was incredibly frustrating for me. I'm like, these people are just saying random ass shit, and I'm
just to try to be hurtful.
literally just to try to be hurtful. And I mean, Rob, you know me pretty well. I don't get offended easily by stuff, and if I can tell context or amongst friends, who are just trying to be silly and stupid, I usually just kind of shoot them the side eye. But like, there's an understanding after that.
Yeah, for real.
But this was like, I was genuinely upset. I'm like, man, this makes no sense to me.
And it's especially hurtful because you look at these people who you're like, oh, these people are like my people because we keep reptiles, and like, these are people who understand and get something that a lot of other people don't get, and then you still get hit with this, like, but they don't like you.
Yeah. Yes.
And it's like, I guess I see where we stand now, because I know that you know, a lot of people don't look at you and they don't go, "Oh, he's you know, he's been with this." And we've seen situations where people make some remarks talking to you. I'm not going to name names.
Yeah.
But some people who made some pretty homophobic remarks, like directly to your face, and I'm like, wow, they just either do not give a shit or they don't know and they just think it's okay. Like, wow.
Yeah. Yep. It's funny because in one of those particular instances, your facial expression changed so dramatically, and I'm just like, yeah, because you don't know.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where I wish I had said something.
It's dude, it was one of those where I'm just like, you obviously don't know who I am because
Yeah.
you don't research anything. But okay.
Yeah.
You know, but it's yeah, man. I mean, I think so our buddy Josh Josh Queen is here in the chat. Wow, that's a big comment. Is blocking both of us. Yeah, right. How's it going? But you know, he's basically saying, you know, that he's met both of us and has talked with both of us and loves what we represent, and even though he came up with different views, he looks at people for what they have to offer, who they are, you know, and it doesn't matter. None of the rest of the shit matters, you know. Like there should just be this understanding and mutual respect for people, because at the end of the day, we're all the freaking same, man. We're all freaking weirdos that like reptiles. Like, let's just be real, man. No matter how wonderful the hobby has become and how mainstream it is becoming, we're still weird ass people. You know, I mean, sheesh. You know, so it's like, you know, and I think I forgot what the podcast was that I was listening to, or live stream it was that I was listening to, but you know, somebody brought up the fact that, like, well, we also segregate ourselves with like different Facebook groups and this group and that group and stuff, and I I get that, like I get the what you're seeing in that, but I challenge those same people to be like, well, okay, we're all the weirdos that like reptiles, right? But then when you have the extra layer of that, of like, oh, people in the LGBTQ community who keep reptiles, oh, we also want to be around people who share those same experiences and are in that kind of safe space where, you know, we can share those experiences and not have somebody like totally freak out and like lose their marbles about it.
I think one of the important things for all of us to recognize is that at one point in our lives, we were alone in the idea, like most of us, I'm not going to say everyone, but most
Yeah.
of us were alone in the idea that we were passionate about reptiles. And you didn't have people who you could just talk to about it and who understood and who get what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And I challenge those people to think about the first time that they got to like sit down with another reptile person and really talk reptiles with somebody. And like you see the other person getting excited and they know what you're talking about. And they, you know, you get a little back and forth. That is a reassuring feeling, and that is something that connection is something that all human beings need, whether you want to live off grid in the woods or whether you want to live in the city around tons and tons of people. We all need that connection. And for those people who are like, well, they're segregated. There's like, I'm in one of the black reptile keepers group, and it's like just for people who are black who keep reptiles. And I think that is great, because what they're actually doing, they're not going in the other groups. They are just creating a space for people who have a similar lived experience for them, where they can connect under the greater umbrella of reptiles, but also in this other thing that other people might not relate to or understand. Because when you find those people who kind of get where you're coming from or where you're at, it It's a different feeling. It's a different feeling. And I know
Yeah.
that some people don't feel super othered all the time. Um, but I can tell you, people of color in the reptile community, people of color just in general, they feel othered all the time.
Mm,
All the time. There is constantly society telling them that you are other than us.
mm,
And when you find a place or make a place where we can be the in group, we can be part, we all acknowledge that we're all equal here. That is something very powerful and something very strong. And that it's like
yeah.
uh Dominique's group, the all women reptile
Hmm.
keepers.
Yeah.
I think it's herpers. it's
Yeah.
it's great because it's a shared experience area where women can come together and have their own space where they can feel safe to talk about whatever they're going to be talking about. And I don't deserve to
Right.
be in there. I'm not, and I've got plenty of
Yeah.
spaces where I can go. It's not for me to say, "Oh, they're segregating me out of that group." They're
Right.
having a
Right.
space where they can be them. And and
Yeah.
and I've got plenty of spaces where I can be me. Okay?
Yeah.
I got plenty of spaces where I can
Exactly.
be me.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't totally understand where the desire. It's like there's a frustration within self-segregating in those contexts, and
Mhm,
it's so bizarre because it's like,
mhm.
man, we're just trying. If I'm trying to talk to you about a situation that you just don't understand because
Yeah,
you've never experienced it or you've never lived it, I can't talk to you.
yeah,
Like,
about that. You
not
you can
about that,
say that
right?
you commiserate, but there's no
Right.
way for you to truly understand what it's
Exactly.
like.
Exactly. So it's like, what? Like, it's just like, man, okay, we're trying to create those spaces again. We all get together under that same umbrella of reptiles. We're the weird people that like reptiles. Cool.
Mhm,
We can all have conversations in that context under that umbrella. But as soon as you start to now connect on the human level,
mhm.
that's when these things are different. Everybody's had these different experiences. You've had experiences that I haven't had. I've had experiences that you haven't had.
Mhm.
And some of those things we can still connect on, some of them we can't.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
Yeah,
like
for real.
like whoever thinks that's not fine, it's so full of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I challenge, dude, I mean, I remember the first time I ever drove from the westernmost part of Massachusetts all the way to Boston.
Mhm,
And looking at the entire state of Massachusetts
mhm.
and how different it was,
Yes.
right, from the Berkshires to Boston.
Mhm.
You cannot tell me that all of those people in those regions have the same experiences. It's not
No,
possible.
not even
It's
close.
just not possible. Somebody from the mountains of Massachusetts trying to talk to somebody in Boston about what you had what fall from the mountain? A bear? We don't have those things here. Like it's not possible.
Yeah.
Like there needs to be that element, that human element that's still involved. We have an underlying enjoyment of the same thing, and that's awesome. And as soon as you break that down, yeah, some people get moved and moved around, and that's fine, and click with other people better because of those experiences. And there shouldn't be any hatred or dismay towards those people trying to establish a connection
Mhm.
with other people who have been through the same. I mean, I think you and I can probably say the same as far as like some of our closest friends that we've met have been through reptiles.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, cool. This wonderful large umbrella of being reptile geeks has provided us an overall safe space to enjoy what we truly enjoy. How is it bad now that people go make friends or go talk to other people that are different to you but the
Mhm.
same for them? Why is
Yeah.
that a problem?
It just I think that for the first time, or maybe not the first time, but I'll say for the first time as a metaphor, for the first time for a lot of those people, they are feeling othered. They are feeling like I'm not part of
Mm,
the group, and that is something that is very foreign to them, and it's not something they've ever had to deal with in their life, where all these people who are making these little groups, that is all they've felt, or that is mostly
yeah.
what they've felt throughout their life, is that I am different, and
Hmm.
I'm finally finding a place where people can kind of get me, or
Yeah.
I'm getting a kind of niche place, or niche place where people kind of get me. And I think that one of the things that a lot of those people who are like upset about this sort of thing, one of the things that I think of that is like very transformative, or very like, a huge part of a lot of the LGBTQ
Hmm.
community is coming out,
Yeah.
just coming out, because a lot of people, a lot of straight people, they don't think about that. It's just that's what's expected. You just go about and, oh, you dated somebody of the opposite sex, and no one bats an eye. And then
Yeah.
for a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community, um,
Please add all letters of the
no, no,
alphabet,
no, no,
Rob.
no. I try to stay up to date, but there's a lot of letters.
There are a lot of letters, man.
I heard it called the Alphabet Mafia, and I was like, yeah, I'm
The
down.
alphabet mafia. Oh, I actually really like that. I might adopt that.
Do it.
I'm a part of the alphabet mafia.
They sound
That's
harder
awesome.
than LGBTQ,
It's true.
So for a lot of those people who are, LGBTQ plus, the Alphabet Mafia, there is this huge thing that they have to go through if they want to live their truth, if they want to live their
Mhm.
life and be themselves. They have to take a step out into the unknown and face the people who they care about the most in their life, and deal
Yeah.
with potentially being rejected by these people because of ideations that may be held by religion, or
Mhm.
society, or this or that or the other thing.
Yeah.
They have to look these people in the eye. I mean, they don't have to, but for a lot of these people, they have to look these people in the eye and say, hey, look, I'm just trying to live my life. I just want to be happy. I just want to, be my most authentic self. And just by saying that, they could face rejection. They could get faced with being kicked out of their home, being rejected by their family,
Mhm.
being told they can't be around their family anymore. And that is something that is so scary that people who are straight never have to deal with. They just don't.
Yeah.
They
Right.
don't. Because there's no thing that you're going to say, oh, we're getting married. Oh, cool. You're getting married. It's expected. They don't ever have to think about having this incredibly difficult conversation with the people that they care about most, and potentially facing the biggest, most scary rejection that, a person can face. It's just not something that would ever show up on their radar. And
Yeah.
for people in the LGBTQ community, that is something that they have to deal with. If they want to be themselves, if they want to live their most authentic life, I'll say for 99% of the LGBTQ community, they have to face that at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, over the years, I've had. I mean, even when I was in high school, I had friends that when they decided to come out, literally, parents were like, "Get out,"
Yep.
and that used to piss me off so much. Like,
Yeah.
how can you do that
Yeah. How can you
to
say
your
that you love
child?
this person and then reject them in that way?
Right. And and then it also goes even a step further, and this is something that I certainly didn't experience, uh but have either been with a partner who has experienced it, or have heard stories. And that's, you take it a step further, and now you're talking about people of color in the LGBTQ community.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many extra added levels
Yes.
to this, and oftentimes it's relating to religion and stuff like that. Not all the time, but in many cases. And I mean, it's mind boggling.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Then yeah, it's such a it's a life altering conversation in
Yeah.
some cases,
Yes.
I had a very easygoing conversation when it came to it. And, luckily my parents were like, we just want you to be happy,
Yeah.
and I was accepted by my immediate family with no questions asked. I had some other members of my family kind of out in the fringe that were like, well, I hope you find a good woman someday. And I was like, dude, who knows? Who knows? But why don't you shut up? But
Oh my God.
yeah, um but yeah, so again, not experiencing that, but having partners who either have or I mean, I had a partner that moved to Massachusetts. They lived in a different state, moved up to Massachusetts, and their family was basically like, if something happens, don't come back here.
Yeah.
And and it's like, what? So now in terms of like relationship, now there's like an added
Strain. Yeah.
burden there. It's like, well, your life is just totally changed.
Yeah.
How can you process now existing in a relationship when your life has literally just been flipped upside down?
Yeah.
It's just it blows my mind, and it angers me to no end when I see that kind of stuff happen in my community. It's ridiculous. And that's the other thing too, is like, you don't know what that conversation was like for that person.
Mm-hmm.
And how that went. And that, man, it's sheesh. It's a traumatic experience for many people, even if they're just like trying to hype themselves up to get to say it, because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. You don't know what that reaction is going to be, or you might have an idea, and be like, okay, this is going to be really bad, or okay, this won't be that bad. And then it happens and you're either very pleasantly surprised, or again, holy crap, your life has just been flipped upside down and now you don't know what to do. And you hate yourself. You hate what you're going through. You hate now that you are potentially kicked out of your house. You hate the fact that your parents or guardians don't want to talk to you. Like, how can you fathom going through that? You just can't, unless you've experienced it and can provide some sort of context. But if you've never experienced that, you just don't know.
Yeah.
With that, I just saw the time. We're going to run our ad break. So we'll be right back in 2 minutes, guys. Black Box Cages, located in Buford, Georgia, is your one-stop shop for all of your caging and rack needs. Owners Jen and Clint are at the helm of this fantastic company. With one of the shortest lead times in cage and rack manufacturing, Black Box can satisfy anyone's needs. From baby racks to V70s, arboreal and terrestrial caging to deep-fronted bioactive enclosures. You can find everything you need right here. New enclosure sizes and products are added frequently to their availability, so be sure to check back often. Black Box Cages have tons of customizing options for lighting and heating. Along with that, cages and racks can be stacked with metal stacking dowels, and all cage joints are dadoed for improved durability and stability. Most cage units are flat packed, but are pre-assembled prior to shipping to ensure a solid build every time. The Micro, XC18, XT3, Bio-G, and 3-stack V70 ship assembled, and all other racks are shipped freight and assembled. The XR16 and XR20 model racks allow keepers to mix and match tubs. Fitting both Vision and Freedom Breeder tubs, you can mix the V15, V18, and V35S tubs, or the FB5, FB8, and FB35CV-SC tubs. This kind of flexibility allows keepers to raise their animals from hatchling to juvenile or subadult size before needing to upgrade into adult caging. Don't just take our word for it. Go to their website to see countless customer reviews and review videos from keepers all over. To learn more about Black Box Cages, follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Black Box Cages, and of course their website, www.blackboxcages.com. Links to their socials and website will be available in the podcast description. Boom. You guys know the deal. Go check out Black Box Cages, see what they got going on, and get yourself a new cage.
Hey.
I want to highlight one thing, and that's both of our YouTube comments. We've both used the word y'all. Have we effectively, truly joined Southern slang land?
The South, yeah. Yeah. I said something yesterday. I gotta grab my bag. I said that, and Krista was like,
my bag.
Your what? What did you grab? My bag.
Oh man.
I started
joking. The Alphabet Mafia have threatened you.
No.
You must speak in this accent from now on.
I started doing it as a joke, and now it's not a joke anymore. See, Jeremy knows I like talking in accents every now and again.
That's very true.
I feel like we need to get Justin Smith from the Herpetoculture Network on here, but we need to just talk in funny accents the whole time.
I'm very down. I'm so down to talk with weird voices. It's not even funny.
You see, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah, this could be a really funny episode.
Yeah, we should get Phil Wolf on there as well.
Yeah,
see if I can confuse him, make him think that I'm Nipper Reed.
And Warren Booth.
There we go.
I'll stay extra hydrated.
You got to put a bottle of water then.
You mean some nice year park?
It's fucking Tuesday, isn't it?
It's Tuesday. Oh God. we had to cut a little of the tension, guys.
Yeah, sorry guys. And we appreciate everyone for checking out this episode. We know this is not our regular reptile talk. I think this is still reptile talk, because
I agree.
This is reptiles, or our podcast is about the community. And if you want a care sheet podcast, there are other podcasts out there.
That's true. There are a lot of care sheet podcasts, and we're not them.
We're not them.
We're not them. Sorry, but also no, absolutely not sorry. We don't want to be another podcast of get lost in the sauce nonsense.
Yeah. I like listening to some of those podcasts, but I like that we do something a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Even though Donnie still says we need to up our game.
Yeah, I know.
I talked to him the other day, and he was like, dude, you guys need like green screens or something. Like, you gotta have better backgrounds. And I was like, no.
I'm so tempted to make my background these scrub cages over here, because I like them, but I want to set up nicer looking I got some plants in there right now, but I want them to look nicer.
Yeah, and I'm always going to exist in this whatever New York background with sound foam. It's just where I exist, guys. Oh man, but yeah, I mean, jumping back to the topic, I mean, I think so. There's been a lot of discussion on this. You know, there's been multiple live streams about it. There's been a couple of different podcasts that have highlighted it, and you know, as true to form for so many other podcasts that talk about varying issues in this industry and in other industries, there's a lot of talk of the problem and not a lot of talk of solution.
Yeah.
What happens moving forward? And obviously we can come up with a million ideas, and it still doesn't necessarily mean things will change right away. There's always that time for things to take foothold. But I think one of the most important things is, obviously when it comes to this initial situation, dealing with racist comments and stuff, one of the easiest things that we can be doing is just supporting each other, right? The whole concept of vote with your dollar, right? There are so many different people out here who are doing great things, who are of all different colors. If that sounds horrible and weird, but but you get what I'm saying. From all different backgrounds, and they're no less deserving than anybody else for our attention and our business, and paying attention to like what they post and all those things. So just being fundamentally supportive, as if they're no different, because we're all literally just people. I think that's one of the easiest ways that we can be proactively moving forward, is making sure that there's support across the board.
Yeah, 100%. And if you see someone saying racist shit, if you see someone saying sexist shit, if you see someone saying shit against the LGBTQ community, speak up. If you are a safe person, or in a safe enough place where you can speak up, say something, that really makes a difference. Because if people who these other people who are saying these things, if they see other people standing up and saying, hey, look, that doesn't, just cut it out, eventually they're gonna have to change. It's what it boils down to. And I understand that not everyone is in a safe enough place to say something whenever they see something like this happen. Especially like women are constantly in a space where they cannot feel safe around men, or do not feel safe around men. And I completely understand that it's not always safe for them to speak up on their own behalf. But that's where, guys, if you see dudes doing creepy or sexist things, please speak up. Just say something. I find that men will respect when other men speak up about things a lot of the time, not every time, but and one of the tactics that I have adopted is when someone says something that is racist or sexist or homophobic, ask them to explain the joke. Because you want to see something turn real unfunny real quick when they have to explain what is funny about it. Just be like, I don't understand what's funny about that. Can you tell me what's funny about that? And you'll see those people who are so confident before fumble real fast.
Yeah. Real fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one because it's less confrontational. It's not like, hey, you're a piece of shit, stop talking like that. It's like, hey, how about you do some introspection right now and tell me what to that strikes you as funny.
Yep. I actually really like that. Yeah, explain to me how that's funny.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that. Might also adopt that for when I'm teaching.
For real.
That's actually a really good tactic. Explain to me how that's funny.
Just I'm out of the loop, so can you clue me in on what's funny about that? And they just, oh well, I was just being shitty. That's all.
Yeah. You're like, oh, glad you recognized that. The exit's there. There's a sign above it.
Well, a lot of times they'll just fumble over their words and then shut up real quick. And then what I take a little bit, just a tiny bit of joy in, is just thinking about later when they think about that, going, why was that funny? Why did I say that thing right there?
Say that?
And I hope that it haunts them for a really long time.
Yep. As it should.
I'm just saying.
As it should. If you want to be a comedian, write better jokes.
Write jokes that are actually funny and not disparaging other people.
Yeah. Here's an idea.
Could you imagine? What a novelty.
Yeah. Right. Huh.
Nah.
No, but I agree. I 100% agree. I think there's always room for improvement and moving things forward. Um, and taking these steps and being mindful, and also just being mindful that you don't know everything about everybody around you, right?
For real.
Um, I mean, we certainly experienced that not long after getting down here. Comments made that were just like, wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. Never met you
Yeah.
before. I'm so glad you decided to say all of that. So I
Just
knew
lay that
never to
right on
talk
me.
to you again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And no, I don't care that you're inebriated. I don't, because that still doesn't give you a pass to be a piece of crap person.
Yeah. For real. And that's like I was saying earlier, it's just people who think that they are in a place where they can just say whatever they want. And it's like, bro, check yourself before you wreck yourself, for real. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. No, it's just people just need to be a little bit more aware.
Yeah.
Of just everything. Of everything. You don't know everything about everybody. And not to say you need to be walking on eggshells around people, but have some compassion. Have some general compassion for people. People deserve respect. Until you find out they're a really shitty person, then whatever.
Yeah, like
but fundamentally,
fundamentally,
after you understand where they're at,
yeah, then you can lay the
adjust
hammer
accordingly. Yeah, exactly. Oh gosh.
Yeah, and I just encourage people, if you see somebody who looks like they might be from a different walk of life than you, reach out to them. Try and make a friend. Nothing changes your mind faster than getting to know somebody. You can't know how many racist people suddenly became less racist when their grandkids are mixed. Or people who hate the LGBTQ community until their son or daughter comes out as gay or bi or queer. Sometimes those people end up making their way around and figuring out, oh, wow, I was actually a really hateful person and I can't live like that. The more that you hold on to hate and hurt in your heart, the more you're just going to hurt other people is what it boils down to.
It's so true. And a lot of it, which James brought up here, a lot of it is existing in ignorance.
Yeah.
Right. Because for one reason or another, whether it's from religious chaos or you're just literally like, I don't know anything about that and that doesn't sound like it interests me, so fuck that. And that's ignorance doesn't give you a pass.
Yeah.
Right. Like that. It's just not a free pass. And more often than not, the answers to flip the switch, so to speak, are pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to go into a library and start pulling out, books this big, to find the answer to, well, they're gays. What does that mean? Why should I like them? Like that. That's
like,
not
what do
real.
I have to tell?
Like,
what am I going to tell my kids? I'm like, what do you tell your kids about your sex life? Oh, nothing? Then you should probably just tell them that.
Yeah, exactly. Let's stick with that. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, ignorance is not an excuse for hatred and negativity. It's especially when, again, we're in 2023. It's really easy to educate yourself.
It is so easy. Talk to somebody. Literally talk to someone.
Literally.
All you got to do.
Yeah. Yep. I think, like, I know for me, one of the things that I hear a lot personally that used to bother me, sometimes still do it, but again, inflection, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. Is when people find out that I'm bi or that I'm dating a guy, people, I didn't know. I didn't know you were gay or whatever. It's like, Well, yeah. What do you want me to walk around with a shirt
Yeah,
like
for real.
that says it? Yeah, no. Like, "Oh, I didn't know you were straight." Like, like what the
I
heck?
just assumed you're out here.
Yeah. Like literally, I am waiting for the day that us and the Alphabet Mafia add the letter S for straight, because then
No.
nobody has anything to bitch
No.
about. Come on, man.
I'm
If we're
okay with
adding all these other
that letter
letters,
not being. No, I'm okay with that letter not being on there. Otherwise, they're gonna think they're one of us, and nah, we're
that's
not. No, we're
fair.
not.
That's fair. That is fair. We should do it for a day though, like April Fools.
Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Right? That could actually be pretty funny. See, but yeah, it's again, it used to bother me a lot originally, but I've gotten to a point now where it's like, not to say I expect it, but I know that it generally isn't coming from a place of hatred. It's coming from a place of like, oh, I didn't know this about you, and it's like, okay, that's fine, but I don't ask you about your sex life. I don't question when you kiss your wife or whatever, so why does it matter that I brought my partner here?
I think that for those people, they just have this societal expectation, and to challenge that just challenges everything that every decision they've ever made, because they go, well, you don't look like a gay guy. Like you don't
Yep.
look like what I expect a gay guy to look like. So if that means that a gay guy can look like you, then what does that say about me? Like, and that sort of
Yep.
questioning that those people go through, I think that it could really open up their minds to some things about themselves that they are probably just really, really ignoring.
Yeah. What's that Twitter history look like? Whap whap. Yeah, no, it's true though. It's true. Um yeah, it's crazy that we've had to dedicate an episode to this, though I
Yeah.
think it's good to
Mhm.
have the discussion, and thank you again to everybody that's been here in the chat. There's been quite a lot of support pouring through in the chat here on YouTube and Facebook, and we definitely appreciate all of that from you guys. And just remember to be a good person. Like at the end of the day, that's all that matters. We're all people. We all go through our own shit. We all deal with our own inner demons and whatever, and you don't know what anybody's going through. So just be a good, kind person, and and things will be all right.
I think so. I think that if we all just tried to be a little bit nicer to one another, I think that the world would be a really, really different place.
I agree. And if you want to know a really good way to be nice to people, make candy bacon cupcakes.
I knew you were going to say that. That
It's
is
the
my
perfect
contribution to
icebreaker.
the world. That is my contribution to the world, is just
It's the perfect icebreaker. It's like, hey, I'm Rob. Here's the candy bacon cupcake, and people are always like, "Ew, go away." Okay, this is
oh my
amazing.
God, this is amazing. Yeah.
And then the following statement usually occurs after like one circle of Rob going through giving them. I thought they were going to be gross, and I didn't know who this guy was, and then I had it, and I was like, "Oh, he's not that bad."
That was amazing. You're
Yeah.
the cupcake guy in my mind now for the rest of eternity.
Yeah. Yep.
That's okay.
And
I
it's
don't mind being the cupcake guy.
and it's literally, it's slowly, as we move, it's slowly taking
It's
over other parts of the country.
expanding.
It is that means when we finally do hit a super show, there needs to be an
I
oven.
need a kitchen. That's that. Yeah. If I can find a kitchen, I will make the cupcakes.
I will buy you an easy bake oven, Rob.
Oh, I don't know if they'll come out the same. I know that they got to be made with love, but I also need an oven.
Oh gosh.
I think that for the next the next expo, maybe I should do ones with the cupcake wrappers. I'll get ones that say Black Lives Matter, and then ones that say that are like a rainbow LGBTQ flag, and then we'll
Yes.
really see who's down.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You want them? This is a test.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say anything, because the people who go, "Oh, has it got to be that?" Then you know.
Then you know. True.
Then you know.
So true. Yes, I agree 100% with Jessica. If you go to Animal Con, you need to make them for Animal Con, Rob.
If I can find a kitchen, I'll make them.
Yeah.
Like I said,
Actually,
that was-
if so, those rooms, if you're in Villa number 5, I think, because we're at the same location, there's a kitchen in those rooms.
Okay.
So it's funny, I was just at Bar Checks the other week, and we talked a little bit about Animal Con, and then I just got an email about making sure my bio was all up to date and whatever. So if you missed Animal Con, you don't want to miss it this year. It's gonna be pretty freaking sweet. So Florida, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of Florida happening this year.
Yeah, for real.
There's gonna be a lot of Florida happening, including herping with Savannah, which we still need to lock in those dates, but I'm very excited for that.
I'm so hyped.
Hell yeah. It's gonna be so dope. It's gonna be so freaking dope. I'm excited because I have the first week of March, I'll be away teaching and doing a couple shows, and that covers me for the month. So I have the rest of the month. It's like, you tell me when you're ready, bro, and we're going down. But heck yeah.
All right, Jeremy, we're wrapping this episode. So what's something that's got you excited about reptiles right now?
You know what? I'm actually really excited. I just got the 3rd lock from this Borneo pair. So I'm very excited about that. That was that low expression white wall ocelot from Megano, the demon, to the striped VPI Ultra. So
those are gonna be some nice Borneos.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that clutch. So she's looking great. She's like slamming food right now. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. We just got the 3rd lock. So that, yeah, so I'm not breeding much this year since I'm downsizing. So I've only got a handful of ball pythons, like 1 or 2 carpet clutches, the Amazons, and then that Borneo clutch. And that Borneo clutch, I'm very excited about the Amazons, but I also know that boas will break your heart. So I'm trying to not.
Don't get excited until they're out of the mom.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not trying to think about that. But the Borneos, I am very excited for the Borneos. So yeah, man. How about you? What's got you excited about reptiles, Rob?
Trying to think. I know I saved some stuff too, and I forgot to look it up before the thing. Oh, you know what? It was really cool. I listened to NPR did an episode of Herp History with Tom Crutchfield, and that was really interesting, hearing some of the stories of the things that he did throughout his life. If you are a podcast person and like to listen to podcasts, please go check out NPR. Please go listen to their Herp History ones with Richard Ross, and I don't know if the one that they did with from Bushmaster, I can't remember his name right now. Cam from Bushmaster. Listen to some of those episodes, man. It is such an interesting window into the past of the reptile hobby and where we're at right now. It's really cool. So if you get a chance, listen to those. I listened to that the other day, and I was just like, I felt like someone took like a little brick off my chest, because I'm sitting here going, oh man, I'm 34 years old. I don't know if I'm doing enough. I don't know if I'm doing enough. And then Tom was like, oh, I didn't take my first trip around the world until I was 34. And I was like, okay. He's still,
we're good.
I still got time. We're
good. There's still time. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true, man. That's always crazy to think about. Like, that timeline,
Mhm.
right, for getting things done. Like we always feel like if we haven't done it by X age, like we missed it. We missed the
Yeah.
boat. It's never gonna happen. And then so you hear something like that, and yeah, exactly. You're like, no. All right. This is
Okay,
fine.
I'm okay. Yeah.
I got one more year.
I just turned 34, so I got to do it by the end of the year.
Right. Well, hey, look, okay. So if you don't do it by the end of the year, I'll do it before I'm 34 and you can come with me. So
Okay. Deal.
Oh gosh.
So Jeremy, if people want to find out more about you, where are they going to go?
Literally, they can check me out everywhere. Primarily Instagram at Brassman Reptiles, TikTok at the Brassman, Facebook Brassman Reptiles, all that stuff. Morph Market Brassman Reptiles. Please buy snakes. I need to remove snakes from the house because I will need to be traveling a lot very soon. So please buy snakes. Go check out Morph Market. I think that's about it. What about you, Rob? Where can people find you?
Same thing. Instagram at Rob is Creeping It Real. TikTok, Rob is Creeping It Real. I deleted my Twitter, or I don't know if I deleted it. I don't have Twitter anymore. I don't use. I didn't really use it, so I got rid of it. And then don't add me on Facebook. But I do have Morph Market, and I am looking. I might be looking to move a couple bloods that I hatched out this past year. So if anyone's looking for a deal, I want to upgrade some enclosures and do a couple things. So I'm looking to make some deals on some blood pythons.
Bam.
They're gonna be really pretty. So I'll hook people up if they listen to the podcast. So yeah, check us out. And then if you're listening currently, we're gonna be hopping onto the next stream, doing an interview. And then if you're listening to this on the audio only version, then we will catch up with you next week on Reptile Talk.
See you guys.